just going to take you through the various different stages of me being able to get sorted to go out for an independent paddle. So, got to get your paddleboard out of the car, get it all pumped up. You need to have an electric pump, and you need to make sure that your paddleboard is as good a quality as it can be so that you can get a 20 psi pressure in. And then I attach my seat onto the paddleboard. So we're paddling in very, very gentle river conditions today. So I just attach the seat onto the handle in the middle of the paddleboard. That's my gel cushion. And then I've got two knee supports that I use to fit underneath the back of my legs, and that just takes a little bit of pressure off my lower back. I paddle with a strap around my waist, so that's what the strap is. And then in order to get it down to the water's edge, I put on a set of kayaking wheels. So these are just standard wheels, and you strap them on to the depends on which direction your paddleboard's pointing, but strap them onto the in this case onto the back of the paddleboard, and then you just pull the strap through as tight as you can. Just make sure that the wheels are central on the back of the paddleboard. And then the trickiest thing is then steering it. It's like moving an Arctic truck down to the water's edge. So I've got a climbing sling that goes around my waist, and a carabiner that then connects through the handle at the front of the board, and then very, very carefully, especially on this gravel, because you can't quite see as well as you would like, steering it down to the water's edge. And you'll work out a way of so if you're on a slipway, it's obviously slightly easier, but you just need to make sure that the you don't push the wheels too far into the water, because you need to get down to the water's edge to take them off. But once you get down there, then you've got to get the kayaking wheels off, and then you can get ready for your adventure to start. So the paddle board with all of the kit on it is it's reasonably manageable. You can see I can just drop it down on the floor, and then I've got to get down to the water's edge, take the wheels off, and then I move the paddleboard into the water so that the nose of the paddleboard is on the edge of the shore. So that means that then when I move back into my seat, it's easier to then push away. But for me, if I'm going out for an independent paddle, then I put a sign up on my chair which basically says I'm an experienced paddleboarder. I am out on the river for a paddle. I will be back in an hour and a half. Please don't move my chair, because obviously if you're going out for an independent paddle, you don't have the capacity to be able to put your chair back in the car. So you have to have a bit of trust and a bit of faith. So I've got my buoyancy aid on. I've got my support strap around my trunk. I've got my two knee blocks and my paddle and my dry bag with my phone and other bits of kit, water and a hat, and then I'm free to go off for a gorgeous paddle up the River Stour. It's an effort to do it, but that feeling of independence is a pretty special one, and it just feels like such a special moment paddling off. So this is kind of probably the fastest moving bit of water on the Stour. So in a kayak I could never ever do this. I would have been flipped out straight away, but because a paddleboard has got a flat base, with a bit of practice you can turn and spin and paddle and power up into moving water, which is what it's all about. And then to finish the end of the paddle, so I was out for about hour and and a half, I think, for that paddle. You just got to do everything in reverse. So the waist support comes off and buoyancy aid is off. Probably the hardest part is to then get back in your chair because your arms are knackered. Although you use the paddleboard so that it gives you sort of like a 6-inch boost to get back in, you just need to keep an eye on that as you transfer. You don't let the paddleboard slip out the way, but I've been doing it enough times now. But yeah, you just got to keep hold of the paddleboard, make sure that it's firm, and then back in your chair, and then you're good to go. So that's what an independent paddle looks like using the adaptive paddleboarding seat.